to chat about today is what should you focus on to develop your singing voice? Now, that's a big question because there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to singing. Most people say, where do I even begin? As long as your voice is healthy and you can make sound in your speaking voice, you are starting at the right place. But there are some really key elements to make singing more efficient, more easy, the 30,000-foot view. So what's the framework? Prepare, practice, polish, and perform. It's cyclical, and it's cyclical based on what your focus is personally in developing your voice, but also where you are on your sort of artist development timeline, so what you're working towards as a singer. So, like with anything in life, I should say, the key thing that we want to know is where are we today? Where are we actually starting from? Then the second thing is, where are we going? What are the goals that you have for your voice? And then you can work on developing your singing voice with that information, because you've got to focus. And that's the key, because there's so many different things. But really what shifts the dial is that focus. But a lot of singers just don't know where to start. So they might know where they want to go, whether it's a performance goal, a practice goal, a polish goal, in the sense of one of the singers I was chatting with today wants to work on vibrato. And so it can be super specific, related to ornamentation or a voice quality or a vocal range or pitch or any of these things. But you got to know where you're at and what's most important for you to focus on today. And so I've come up with some key questions that you can ask yourself to find out these answers. And it's like a quiz. It's kind of like what kind of singer am I quiz, and what should I be focusing on to develop my voice? And so quizzes are a good time. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to make it a little bit more interactive. And so I'm going to host a masterclass, a couple of them actually, where I'm going to ask you these questions. We're going to go through each question, and you'll give yourself a little number and you'll be like, where am I? Okay, cool. That's where I'm at. And then at the end of the little quiz, we're going to tally up our numbers, and you're going to get a personalized result based on the answers that you give. Now, before I start working with singers, I ask them a series of questions, and I'm going to ask you the exact same questions in this masterclass. So the concept is that we figure out where we're at, we figure out what is most challenging, and we start there. Now, that framework, we still need to pay attention to each of the steps, but what we need to spotlight in that moment can be worked out and personalized based on these questions. So this is my invite to you. I'm going to invite you to this masterclass that's going to be happening in May. Plus, I'm going to be going live in the next couple of weeks for, I think I'm starting next Wednesday. I'll let you know in advance. But yeah, I'm going to just go live every single day, and I'm going to talk about some of these key questions and these key steps that we need to take to developing our voice. And I'll be live so that you can ask me any questions. I'm also going to pop a link down in the comments/description box for access to the masterclass. So if you want to register for the masterclass, and the masterclass is limited to 50 people each session. I'm going to do 3 sessions so that I can give you some one-on-one attention and answer your questions live. But the cool thing is that you're going to walk away with a really personalized plan or roadmap of what you need to focus on for developing your voice. And I think it's really helpful if we can do it together in this masterclass setting. It's a great private platform called Demio. It's a little room, and it's anonymous, so it'll just be you and me like this, but you'll have a direct line to chatting with me one-on-one, and you can just ask me any questions that your heart desires. You don't need to ask any questions at all, because if you don't want to, because the masterclass is going to workshop and ask you these questions about how to figure out what you need to work on. And at the end, you'll have this personalized plan, both for where you are right in the moment, but also what your next steps in that cyclical framework might be when you're ready to move on to the next stage. So I really hope that you join me for this masterclass. It's free, so anybody can jump on in. And I think it's really going to be helpful to get clear on what it is that you need to focus on to develop your singing voice. So really, that's what I'm here to chat through today in my live, is to remind us of the framework that we're working with, remind us that you got to know where you're at to be able to move forward. And I've heard the greatest analogies ever. It's like getting into your car and wanting to go somewhere, but not knowing where you want to go. So you get your GPS out and you're like, ugh, I kind of know I need to be somewhere, but I don't know where it is. You're not going to get the direction, literally, the steps that you need to take, the lefts, the rights, the watch out for this congestion over here. You're not going to get that roadmap if you don't know, A, where you're starting, point A, to Z, where you want to end up. And so we're going to start with those elements, and then I'm going to fill in the gaps for you and give you the exact directions to work towards to developing your voice that's personalized based on what you need, utilizing that framework, my framework of prepare, practice, polish, and perform. So I hope that's something that sounds a bit of you, like a bit of you. Click in the description or the comments to access that link. Holler if you have any questions about where you might be. You can drop that in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like and hit that subscribe and notifications button, because then you'll know automatically when I'm going live on my daily lives in the coming week. If you're on the Facebooks, do the same thing. Follow the Big Notes Get Votes page, and then you'll be able to, check in with me there as well. That's your preferred hangout platform. But I'm super excited about this, and hopefully I've given you a little bit of an insight in today as to what you should focus on, the big picture. So now you know the 30,000-foot view, and then together we can really spotlight and personalize your roadmap to a better singing voice. I look forward to seeing you very soon.